Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, today we are talking about that time when McDonald County wanted to be its own territory. This is the latest blog entry on Ozarks Alive, which you're probably familiar with. We have Caitlin McConnell here with us again to talk about this. Caitlin, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I thought this was really interesting, and as I was reading, I was like, this is actually kind of funny. So this happened back in 1960s when McDonald County said, we don't want to be a part of Missouri anymore. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the whole story, it is pretty humorous. And it's hard to kind of guess looking back at records and stuff, but you get the sense that people were very serious about this, maybe not long term, but definitely to prove a point. And how it did come about was there were some communities down in McDonald County, primarily Knoll, Pineville, Southwest City, which are all down in the southwest corner of the state, that were left off of a state tourism map in 1961. And this was a very difficult thing for them. It was a big tour, it still is, but was definitely back then a big tourist area. And you think in days before TripAdvisor and the internet, maps were a big way that people figured out what they wanted to do. And so the fact that they had been left off of the map was very difficult for them to swallow. And so they decided that if they were going to be left off the map, they were going to secede from the state of Missouri.
Also in your article, you mentioned that tourism was the area's second leading industry. So why would the highway department think, let's not put McDonald County and these resorts on the map?
There was some discussion in the newspaper articles from back then about how whoever was in charge of designing the maps at the state level decided that they weren't going to put commercial ventures on the map. The people in McDonald County argued that they were still attractions regardless if they had been commercialized, because it was a lot of natural things, rivers and floating and things like that. So differences of opinion, I suppose, but definitely folks in McDonald County felt they had been very slighted over this.
And then what happened after they said, okay, we want to secede, we want to be McDonald territory? What was life then after that?
Well, it kind of unfolded pretty quickly. You see in the newspaper articles, they decided to do this, I believe it was in April, and within a week, 2 weeks, they had organized, so to speak. And so newspapers across the country covered this secession. Like I said, a lot of it was humorous. They printed visas. They required, so to speak, visitors to have a visa. They had a border guard patrol, which was one of the more visible parts of the secession. People dressed up in kind of old-time clothing who would stay at the county lines to require visitors to get a visa or to check in and kind of just give them a hard time in a fun way.
I want to talk a little bit more about the border guards too. One thing you wrote that I found interesting, you said their passion kind of helped to bring in tourism too. So they were upset that we're not on the tourism map, and the idea of secession and the idea of the visas and the border guards kind of brought more people in because they thought, this is interesting, we want to go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it was very much worked with what they were wanting to do, even though I doubt they intended for this to work the way it happened. But yeah, the fact that by the end of this, they had thousands of people in the town. And one particular day, they had a mock battle with some people over in Carthage as well. And I think one article I found said that there were 4,000 people in this tiny little town just for that one thing. And in addition to that day, you had extended interest in the guards and things that were going on. And so it brought in the people they wanted to come in.
Talking about the border guards, it sounds like from what you wrote in the articles you used there that they kind of became celebrities almost, that they were being interviewed and people wanted to come to McDonald County just to have an interaction with them.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about the context of the time too. Back in the early 1960s, this was a time when hillbilly tourism, so to speak, was really big in the Ozarks. And I think that kind of plays in with the overall fascination. You had Silver Dollar City that began in 1960. You had Dogpatch USA that was a little bit later, but down in Arkansas with a similar type of attitude. Beverly Hillbillies this was there, a little bit later than 1960, but this was still all this time period where hillbilly attractions were a big deal. And so I have a feeling that helped with this as well, kind of that attention. And yeah, it was a great gimmick. I mean, you had people who clearly loved doing this, acting, and even at one point was a weekly attraction on the train where they would just get on the train even after the secession had ended and would entertain guests. And it clearly was a big hit, both for the people doing it and for the people coming to see it.
You also mentioned the mock battle. How did that unfold and how did it end?
Well, from what I understand, and this is all through newspaper accounts, but from what I've been able to piece together is that Jasper County was celebrating an anniversary. I think it was maybe their centennial. And so they decided in the spirit of all of this, that they were going to challenge McDonald territory to a battle because they had seen firsthand during the actual Civil War how a division of a country was a bad deal. And so they decided to, told McDonald territory that if you don't rejoin Missouri, we're going to come down and fight you. And McDonald territory said, fine, let's fight. And so they brought, I think it was 70 people down or so from around Carthage, and they had this of course, not real, but mock battle. And McDonald territory almost won, but at the last minute, some of the captured generals got freed, and they had to capitulate, and so they ended up rejoining Missouri. This is one of those stories I stumbled across when I went to the museum down in McDonald County. I'd not heard of this before either, and it's a great resource down there to go to the museum. They've got a huge display of this, so if anyone's interested, it's a great place to learn more. But they did it again in 1962. That was the thing. This all happened in 1961, but when the map came out the next year, they still left them off. And so the county almost became a territory again. It didn't quite go as far that year, but they still reached out to Arkansas trying to see if maybe they could be annexed.
Yeah, so it never officially left Missouri, but definitely it left a good story for us to still talk about years later. Well, Caitlin, thank you so much for being here and sharing that with us. If you want to learn more and read the article, it's ozarksalive.com, and we'll be right back with more right here on Ozarks Fox.